Has your boss ever kept you working late so you can't go on a date with your girlfriend? If so, you're in good company. Summertime Blues is about this very predicament. Stick around to find out more. Today you'll be learning Summertime Blues by Eddie Cochran as part of my mini-series on how to play some summer songs on the harmonica. Links to all of the lessons are in the description, and they include Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams and Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. For today's lesson, you'll need an A diatonic harmonica. You can use this to practice playing along with the original as well. So what's the famous guitar part from Summertime Blues? Well, you might recognise this. Most of my song studies teach you a melody or a solo, but this one we're doing today is a little bit different, and it's because I've recently been playing harmonica in a rock and roll show. One of the songs that is included in that show is Summertime Blues. It actually opens the show. I'm going to teach you what I do in the show so that you can do it too. Okay, so I'm playing 3 draw and then 4 blow. And then I'm going 3 draw, full step bend and 3 draw. But fear not if you can't bend, I'll explain in a minute. Okay, so they're the 2 sets of notes. 3 draw, 4 blow, and then 3 draw, full step to 3 draw. Now, if you can't bend, you can play this an octave up. So your 3 draw would be a 7 draw, and your 4 blow would be a 7 blow. And then your 3 draw bend, full step bend, would be a 6 draw, and then the 3 draw again is a 7 draw. So like that. Problem is it's a bit twee, isn't it? It's a bit high. It doesn't have the same depth to it. And you also can't add what I'm going to tell you about now. And this is really important as a sideman or accompanist in a band. So I'm not just going... I'm actually kind of going... Okay, so what am I doing in there? Well, there's a lot of experience and experimentation goes into that, but to give you a gist of what's happening, it's about the contrast or the support that the chords give you around the single notes. So I'm kind of going... So I'm kind of slapping those notes. So to start with, I'm playing 1, 2, and 3 draw, and then either you can narrow your mouth down to the 3 draw, or what I'm doing is slapping. So I'm tongue slapping to create a tongue block shape. But you could go where I'm actually narrowing my mouth down. But it's a subtle thing, and it's only momentary. It's a millisecond, but I think it's massive in terms of what it adds. And I'm doing the same on the 4 blow. Slapping that note. Check out my lessons on tongue blocking if you want to know more about this stuff. Anyway, it's adding a lot to what I'm doing. And then I do the same on the other line. So I'm actually playing 1, 2, and 3 before I bend that note. And as I slap, as I reduce it to a single note, I bend the 3 draw. And it just gives a cool, really cool texture, I think, to it. So if you do that, you're doing it on every note, the kind of slapping thing. Like that. And then the other thing I'm doing is kind of a chug between. And it just means you're joining in with that guitar part and fattening it out. And there's no, in the show that I'm playing this in, there's no other soloist apart from the guitarist. So the guitarist really chunking away there. So it makes sense for me to join him, or could still play harmony or something. But I think it's nice with rock and roll, stuff like this, to just really, really bed in and really emphasize that main riff. It'll be great practice for your sideman playing and for your accompaniment playing as well. So that is the most important thing for you to do, and it actually recurs later on. So you've got and then you have, well, I'm gonna raise a fuss, yeah, I'm gonna raise a holler. Been working all summer just trying to earn a dollar. So you're repeating that line between those. So it just comes back and back. So if you're not doing it, or if you're doing something that's way away from it, if it isn't complementing it or contrasting it in the right way, then you're kind of losing what the song is. And that's important when you're playing a cover, to respect the original, and especially if you've got a crowd there who are expecting to hear things kind of as they were, but you're playing an instrument that wasn't in the original. You need to do something that doesn't stand out too much and really locks in with what the rest of the band are doing, as I say, respecting the original. Anyway, so that line repeats throughout. There is a line at the start, well, not a line as such, but the guitar comes in with a do-a-da-da, 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 do-a-da-da. It's kind of just a semitone lift. And you can double that up if you want. It might be a bit too much, but if you wanted to. So that's on my 2-draw. Now you need to be able to bend to do this. But you're playing a 2-draw bend and then bending it up and then hitting that 2-draw multiple times. So do-a-da-da, do-a-da-da. And if you speed it up, you know, and you've kind of then joined in with that guitar part. Or if the guitar isn't doing it, you could take that yourself at the start. You'd want to organise that with the band. But anyway, if you're just playing along with the song for now, the record, you can play along with that as well. It's pretty cool. If you can't bend, it's not really possible to play that specific part. If you tried an octave up like we did with the other riff, then you'd need an overblow and you couldn't actually bend between them in the same way. So it kind of needs to be done down there. Okay, there are a couple of things you can do as the song progresses. So when it goes to the 4 chord, so that's the bit where it goes, every time I call my baby, trying to get a date, you could. Something like that. So I was playing a 1 and 4 blow octave. And doing those kind of slaps again. You don't have to emphasize those, it might be a bit too much. You could just hold. Or something like that. Or even play the single notes. So 1 blow or 4 blow. And then, at the end of that, there's like a stop. There's like a stop time thing, at which point you should go back to the, or could go back to the 2-draw. So it'd be... Okay. Every time I call my baby, trying to get a date, my boss says, no dice, John, you gotta work late. Okay, and then you do the same thing over, and sometimes I wonder what I'm going to do, and then it stops on the, for you, the 2-draw, because there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. So you can see that what I've tabbed out here is really a backing, a behind the singer, a part of the rhythm section almost, part, because that's really what I'm doing on this song. And I don't think I'm trying to think, do I ever get a solo on it? If I did, I'd come up with something different for the solo. But this is something that I'm playing in the background or trying to respect and go along with what the rest of the band are doing. It's a different challenge, but it's good practice and really, really good idea, good habit to get into if you want other musicians to like you. Because harmonica players, sadly, have a bit of a reputation for just getting up and wailing all over the song and not doing anything that's suitable. I've got more summer tunes for you to learn. You can check out the links in the description. Let me know in the comments what songs remind you of summer, and indeed, if you're having a good summer, I'd love to hear from you. And check out my harmonica school, link below, if you'd like to join a global harmonica community. We'd love to have you. If not, see you again soon for some more free harmonica lessons and tips. So hopefully this has given you a different type of challenge that you'll enjoy having a go at.